Hi, this is Toni. I've done a lot of research this week and I've got 2 or 3 topics I want to talk to, so stay tuned. We might need to do 2 or 3 videos. Miss Luna Dog Tunes Productions, in association with Mom Toni, presents The Beatles on Tour in the USA, February 1964. Continued. Today is part 9. Yesterday, the 7th of February, 1964, the lads touched down at Kennedy Airport in Queens, New York, to thousands and thousands of screaming fans. Today is the next day, the 8th of February, and we are still at the Plaza Hotel, but only for a little while. There's lots to do today. It's a good thing that Ringo grew up to be a healthy man, because today of all day, George is sick in bed at the Plaza in the United States. I know. Today we start off with Brian. He's on the 12th floor of the Plaza, safely removed from the frenzy downstairs in his suite. It was tastefully decorated with beige and white. I looked on the webpage of the Plaza in New York, and his room may have looked something like this. Wow, they sure came a long way from Hamburg and the Cavern. Woo! On his table were music magazines such as Cashbox and Billboard. While he was in New York, Epstein used his suite as an office. He was sitting in there now, dictating a memo to a lady named Wendy Hansen, an elegant blonde who was serving as his secretary during the period in New York. It was the proper ambiance for dealing with important matters. The only thing disturbing were the screams of, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," reaching up to his suite. I would have been there. Again, this picture is of the Fab Four looking out the window at the fans that were below. And they were told not to look out the window because they would make the fans go crazy. Shortly afterwards, the Beatles, or rather John, Paul, and Ringo, because George was sick in bed, having posed for photographers at the edge of the lake in Central Park, on a rock with a skyline in the background, with the daughter of one of the Daily Express correspondents with the skyline in the background. And then they were driving in a landau, which is a carriage.
Wow!
This sounds like it's just the morning or very early afternoon. I'd like to take a very quick moment to thank you for being here. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you. They were taken to the boathouse to eat cheeseburgers, drink malted milks, and speak with reporters. Well, that sounds very American. As John sat down to eat his cheeseburger, a reporter for the Associated Press, AP, cigarette dangling from his mouth, took out his pad of paper, looked up, and said, "Listen, buddy, I'm not too familiar with all of this. What city are you from again?"
Oh my gosh!
Liverpool. Liver what? Liverpool. Wischgewillt, I'm not sure about all of this. After they had finished talking to the reporters, the Beatles were put into 2 limousines and driven up the east side of Central Park to see Harlem and down the west side of the park to the CBS studio at 53rd Street to rehearse for the Ed Sullivan show.
Wow!
Wow. Can you imagine? Outside the theater were a number of girls wearing yellow sweatshirts carrying the emblem WMC Good Guys printed on them. The good guys were disc jockeys that were on the station who had been promoting the Beatles heavily.
Thank you.
There was also a boy in a white sweatshirt labeled WQXR, Bad Guys. This is the local classical music station.
What?
Now, this is funny. In my research, I found that there was a young man who simply carried a sign reading, Alonzo Tusky hates the Beatles. Always haters. Always gotta have a hater. Inside the Ed Sullivan Theater, the floor of the stage was painted blue, and there were half a dozen large white arrows pointing to the place where the Beatles would sing. Explaining the significance of this, the program's scenic director, Bill Bonnert, said, "I was attempting to symbolize the fact that the Beatles are here." Cool. The Beatles, with Neil Aspinall standing in for George, who was still sick, rehearsed only for the camera angles, and they whispered the songs. Towards the end of the afternoon, George turned up for the rehearsal. The press was assured that he would be able to take part in the show the next evening, on the 9th of February. "He'd better be," said Sullivan, "or I'll put a wig on myself." All right, now, that's not the end of the day for them yet. Not the end. Oh, no. That wasn't enough for them to do a photo shoot, sit in with the reporters, rehearse at the Ed Sullivan Theater, go out for lunch and, not even be able to enjoy your lunch because there's reporters there. No, there's more. There's more to this day. But I'm going to stop here for right now. It's mind-boggling how much they had to do in one day. It's like being the President of the United States. All right, I've got some information here coming up for you on who Neil Aspinall is. You can take screenshots if you want to look at that in your own time, okay? Because whenever you hear about the Beatles, you will hear about two people, Mal Evans and Neil Aspinall. So I thought we'd start with Neil Aspinall because he sat in for George in the rehearsals today. Okay, so you can take screenshots of that if you like. Essentially, he was a longtime friend of the Beatles, of Paul McCartney, I believe George Harrison, and they trusted him because he was a Liverpool lad, a Scouser, and he was their, gopher. They could trust him. He was a very nervous person, like a type A personality, and he would do whatever they needed. On my next video, as promised, we are going to do just a short little funny thing about Alonzo Tusky, who hated the Beatles 61 years ago. Oh my goodness. Alonzo, where are you? Please comment below. We need you, Alonzo. We need you. All right, so I want to thank you all for being here today, if you stuck with me this long. And we'll see you on the next one about Alonzo. And I'm pretty much ready to go for him, so I'll do the video tomorrow. These videos take me forever to do because I want to make them as nice as possible. Thank you for everything, and we will see you soon. From my little dog Luna, who tends to make a lot of noise, and myself, have a great day. I wish you a happy and a healthy. Hasta mañana. Bye.